If you want to know how I successfully started locks on relaxed hair, then stay tuned for this video. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to The Real ZedBee. If you don't already know, I'm Zintle, and on this channel I talk about my personal lock journey as well as give you tips and tricks on how to style and maintain your locks from the comfort of your own home. So if you have watched this video right here, you'll remember that I said that I started my locks on relaxed hair. So you may be sitting there like, but how did you do that? I've also heard a lot of people saying that no way, absolutely no way in heck you can start your locks on relaxed hair. And I am here to tell you as a living, breathing example that you 100% can. So I'm just gonna go through my experience on my lock journey, on how it was to have my locks started on relaxed hair. I'm going to share with you what method was used to lock my hair in place, and also I'm going to share with you some challenges that you can expect to face if you do decide to start your locks on relaxed hair. So hopefully this video is going to be like sort of nice and casual. As you can see, I'm sitting on the floor. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Okay, how my locks actually came about. I'm not going to go through the whole story. You can go and watch that story time after this video, but what the loctician that I went to at the time did was he used this beeswax on my hair. So he used that beeswax basically to twist my locks into little coils. Now I hadn't given him too much of a guidance as to what size or what parting I wanted, because I had absolutely no idea about locks. So whatever he was doing on my hair, I was basically just like fine with it. What I did tell him is that I didn't want them to be thick and I didn't want them to be thin. I just wanted them to be in between. So with that guidance, he went on and started doing my hair with a rat tail comb and the beeswax, and he formed little comb coils in my hair. Once he was done with the comb coils, he then did one of those, it's not plaits, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Those lock styles where they basically just plait your hair together. I don't know, but basically it wasn't an updo kind of thing, but it looked like a maze around my head. So he put that in, and then he advised me to keep that in for 3 months. So that's the method that was used to start my hair on relaxed hair. So one thing that he also suggested that I should do is to keep up with putting coconut oil in my hair on a daily basis. So even like on top of, even though my hair was plaited, I could still rub on coconut oil every single day on my head, because that's what he told me to do. So I didn't wash it in that style. I just basically did 3 months of putting coconut oil on my head. So once the 3 months came around, I had already known, like even before I had locks, I already knew that I don't like beeswax. I knew that I did not ever in my life want beeswax in my hair, because it just left such a white cast on my hair. And also people that I've seen getting retwist with beeswax, I just didn't like the look of, you know, the white product that was sitting on top of your hair. So I had made the conscious decision to never ever ever again in my life use beeswax. So I took out the plaited style and I got my hair washed for the very first time, and it looked like this. So I kind of wore that hairstyle for a bit because I really did not want to put beeswax in my hair. And at the time, a lot, if not all, of the locticians in East London that I could find used the beeswax method to retwist your hair. So I decided to wear my hair out. Periodically I would also put in, I think I put in hair pieces twice or 3 times, like weaved in, sewn in hair pieces twice that year. I have quite kinky hair, so even my relaxed hair wasn't super sleek, and you know, because it was those cheap-ish relaxers, you know, so it wasn't it wasn't like super sleek. Anyways, so the game changer for me was when I went in for my first crochet appointment. I found a guy in a small town in KZN when I was visiting my mom. So she normally did her locks at that salon, and they did the crochet method. So she took me to that salon, and yeah, I got my hair crocheted and I was in love with it. It immediately looked like locks. So it no longer looked like sort of kind of budding, sort of kind of afro, sort of kind of stringy. It actually was the first time that my hair actually looked like locks. So I really, that was a real game changer on my lock journey. And in terms of pain, that guy specifically, I don't know if it was gentle, but I didn't feel any pain. I don't know, he was very gentle. I didn't feel any pain during or after the crochet, so I kept going back to him. So every holiday in varsity that I was home, I'd actually go home to the KZN, and I would go to that salon to get my hair crocheted, up until a time where I couldn't go or didn't go to KZN anymore. So I kind of lost touch with that specific loctician. So I wanted to find a salon that was closer to home, that was closer to Cape Town, because I was living in Cape Town at the time, and I could not find one anywhere. So I decided to just stop looking altogether. Technically then my hair started to semi-freeform. I could say that my hair started to freeform for a couple of years while I was in Cape Town. So I just let it sort of like freeform, yeah, until about last year March, when I went in for my crochet appointment at a salon in East London, and they got my hair crocheted. But the pain, no, it was so painful. Okay, it was so painful, and I just didn't think that all of my loose hair was captured in the crochet. So I was like, why am I even doing this? Because the sole reason why I went there was to have, you know, my loose hairs formed into my locks. So that's when I decided, no, I am done. I am done with people touching my hair, because it was just so painful. So yeah, so if you do have relaxed hair, those are the 2 methods that I would suggest for you, that I personally have that I personally have used and have worked on my hair. So if you are interested in starting locks immediately and your hair is relaxed, then don't despair. Look for a loctician who's willing to do that for you. Yeah, so just bear in mind that maybe your hair doesn't behave the same way as mine, or maybe your loctician might not have the same technique or ability as mine. Okay, just bear in mind that your hair might not take the first time around. It might not work out the first time around, okay? But just don't despair if you really want to get your hair locked. Don't despair, keep looking, keep doing your research, and just keep trying out different ways and different locticians until you find the one that is going to actually take you on this journey. Ask a lot of questions before you actually have anything done on your hair. Ask a lot of questions. Also come to the appointment prepared, knowing your hair, knowing how it behaves, and all of that stuff, just to make everyone's job a lot easier. Just go in there prepared, but just bear in mind that it might not take the first time, and that's okay. But be patient, you know, it will happen. You will find someone who can make it happen for you if you really want it to happen. Yeah, so especially if you have like super silky, sleek hair, yeah, it might take quite a long time. Bear in mind that my hair was really damaged, so my hair was very crus at the, like specifically here at the back, it was very just, you know, damaged. So I guess it might have been easier for the loctician to get the lock to take, but just be patient and see what happens. Another thing that you should bear in mind is shrinkage. If your hair is relaxed, it means that it has been straightened, and so your hair is basically sitting straight, right? So that doesn't mean that just because your relaxed hair sits here, that your locks will start here and grow, okay? Because what happens is once your locks start to form, they actually need to shrink first, so they will grow up because they frizz, and then they mat together and intertwine, and then form into a lock, and then they grow. So you just need to keep that in mind, that you will probably experience some shrinkage before your hair can actually, you know, fall and grow down. So you need to be prepared that your hair might actually shrink in its length before it can actually grow. And you must also be prepared for locticians to chase you away or to disappoint you and say that they can't do locks on relaxed hair. As I said before, here I am sitting in front of you with a full head of mature locks. So it can definitely be done. So you just need to take it as a sign. Don't force it with that loctician. If they don't feel comfortable doing it, don't force it with them. Just say okay and move on to the next one. Go do your research, go out there, talk to people who have locks. Who's your loctician? Go and check out that loctician and see if they will be able to start your locks on relaxed hair. Literally, there's an abundance of locticians out there, and it won't be that hard for you to find that one. Literally, the first person that I went to didn't tell me all of these stories. Bye, sissy, come back in a few months or in a few weeks. He did it right there and then. Even seeing the state of my hair was relaxed. So just go out there and put yourself out there. Go and find a loctician. but just bear in mind that they might not want to do locks on your hair, because you know they'll say that it's too fine or too silky to start a lock. Okay, and one other thing that I was never prepared for is the fact that my ends were stringy. So as much as most of my hair was able to sort of frizz and sort of form and get its act together, my ends my ends got a little bit stringy. Like they looked like pieces of thread. So yeah, maybe be on the lookout for that as well. I think for me, the thing that made the stringiness go away is the fact that I went for a crochet appointment. But just bear in mind that your ends will take a bit longer to catch up in terms of the locking process. So don't despair when you see your ends being stringy or curly or doing funny things. Just as long as your general health of your hair is okay, then you're good. And the last thing that I want to talk about is maintenance. As far as maintenance goes, keep your eyes glued on this playlist right here for some assistance on how you can maintain your locks, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.